Good evening and welcome to Newsline. I am Claire Adilabu Abdurasak. Tonight, as I sit here, I'm deeply moved by unexpected and unsettling news that makes us all pause and reflect on the fragility of life. And I hope that the stories that we will share tonight on Newsline will also inspire you to do the same. Now, the loss of loved ones don't really end with their departure. They continue to live in the memories we hold dear and the legacies, of course, they leave behind. And tonight on Newsline, we will bring you such profound stories, and they're ones that remind us of the enduring power of memory and the beauty of a life well lived. Now, they say money can't bring back the dead, but it can save lives, especially in desperate situations, but especially when such prevention is possible. And this resonates deeply with our culture, with values, giving and sharing. Again, on the line tonight, we will feature stories that highlight the essence of our tradition, and these are stories of willful giving and communal sacrifice that impact lives. And hopefully, they also will inspire us all to embrace the true spirit of our humanity. And we also have stories that will celebrate the ingenuity of Nigerians, those rare individuals with exceptional talents who make us proud. And of course, when it comes to love, there's no better example than in marriage. And we've got a harvest of beautiful unions lined up for you tonight. But for now, let's turn attention to our fabulous Mina Daniels. Mina, you know, I heard from the grapevine that all Minas love sitting quietly by themselves. But I know you are an exception. You've always got something exciting to share.
Well, you may be right, Claire, but two things. My own Mina is quite indigenous. And secondly, I'm not a lone ranger.
I thought as much.
Yes, and I know that most Minas generally are very, they do have calm disposition, so we're good. Thank you so much for letting me explain. And a warm welcome to the news segment. Let's kick off from Saudi Arabia, where the joint Arab-Islamic summit, for which President Bola Tinubu is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is set to begin tomorrow, Monday. State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab is joining us to give us an update. Well, Musbao, good to see you. Could you please tell us about Nigeria's stake in this event holding tomorrow?
Yes, thank you. Now, with the presence of President Bola Tinubu in Riyadh, Nigeria is set for participation of this year's joint Arab Islamic Summit, which is focusing on the issues around the Middle East, particularly the Israel-Palestine war going on for more than a year now. And this is the third time that President Bola Tinubu will be coming to Riyadh to participate in one event or the other. Exactly 1 year ago, it was part of the Saudi Africa Summit, which also had the Arab Islamic Summit on the sidelines as well. And now it's going to be part of this again as a member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. We have a member of Nigeria's delegation, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who is going to talk to us about what Nigeria is coming here to do actually. And we have Honorable Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ms. Bao.
Okay, Honorable Minister, Nigerians are asking questions already that why is Nigeria participating in this event? Really, what qualifies Nigeria to be part of this event?
Well, thank you. First and foremost, Nigeria is a leading member of the international community. Nigeria is a very important country, not just in Africa, but on the global stage. Recall that Nigeria is the biggest black nation on earth, and we have a very close proximity with the Middle East. And Nigeria has had a very long long-standing relationship with not just countries around the world, but also the Middle East. Now, recall that last year, as you said, precisely on the 11th of November 2023, the president was here at Africa Saudi Summit, which also had the Africa Arab Summit. The issue of Palestine, then very fresh. The conflict between the Palestine and Israel was very fresh. Nigeria participated. And in that summit, it was agreed that there must be a de-escalation of the conflict and return to the diplomatic table. Now, 1 year down the line, we have seen the kind of thing that has happened in Israel and in Palestine. We have seen the kind of loss of lives and destruction of property that everyone around the globe is talking about. And so when this summit was muted and Nigeria was invited, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, consistent with his thinking about being very humane. He is a very, very humane leader. He looks at the issue of humanity very seriously. Whatever the reasons are, he thinks that both countries need to de-escalate. They must come back to the negotiating table so that at least for the, let's have some peaceful resolution. Whatever is the case, this conflict can never end on the war front. We must come to find a diplomatic solution. And this is exactly what we are seeking here. And so Nigeria is seizing the moment again to participate, to lend its voice as a very important player on the global stage to ensure that all countries of the world have a peaceful resolution to this matter.
Okay, all right, Honorable Minister, that exactly is what a lot of people or countries are hoping for, to see that this war is ended once and for all. And it's been on for years. Nigeria's stand has been known for a two-state solution. What do you want to tell Nigerians about this, the stand of Nigeria, and how you think it will end the war?
Well, Nigeria is very consistent on that. It supports a two-state solution. With Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace and security within very secured borders for both countries. Nigeria feels that that is the only way forward. We must go back to the root of the matter. Of course, this conflict is rooted in the fact that both countries feel that there is something that they are losing. So Nigeria feels that if all of them come together, and then there is this imperative of the principle of two-state solution, Israel living as a state, as it does now, in peace and security, the Palestine also having that. And recall that unless you do that, look at the way the conflict is already going, spilling over the borders of both Israel and Palestine. It's going to Lebanon, and we are also seeing that Iran is also being gradually brought into the conflict. So unless this solution is found, and unless there is a diplomatic solution to it, this may engulf the entire region, and in effect, it will also engulf the entire world. Nigeria is a very important country, like I said earlier. Unless there is peace in the Middle East, there is no way Nigeria will not have also issues to contend with. Already, we are seeing movement of people around the region. Nigeria, because of its proximity, is likely to begin to draw some of the people who are escaping this conflict from. And we also have our own share of issues here. So we want all these states to live in peace, to live in harmony within secured borders, so that the world can be at peace.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, Information, National Orientation, for your time. All right. The program is coming up, of course, tomorrow, Monday, and the President Bola Tinubu, is expected to be one of those who will address the summit, and you can be sure to get that live on NTA network service. It's back to you in the studio for now.
Very well, Musbao. Definitely we will be joining you live tomorrow to get more updates as events unfold. Thank you for those insights. And moving on, the presidency has advised the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to deploy his energy and skills into playing the role of a statesman after his popularity was put to test for 6 times in the race for the presidency of Nigeria. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the presidency says former Vice President lacks contemporary knowledge about national and global economies and gullible to fallacies which are delusional and hypocritical. The statement added that Atiku is still battling with the shock of defeat when he should brace up in joining hands with Tinubu's presidency, which is running a reformed agenda that is promising and has proven to provide a gradual and permanent solutions to Nigeria's economic challenges in both oil and non-oil sector, and stop being blind to some of the major strides achieved. Bayo Nanuga says the 5.4 trillion naira recovered from subsidy removal is being channeled into meeting critical developmental needs, and assures that reforms to activate the 4 refineries, support modular and Dangote refineries is in top gear, while workers' welfare is also receiving a boost, as seen from implementation of a new national wage. He urged the former vice president to hide his head in shame following a series of corruption charges against him and his family, and allow the president to focus on the task of reconstructing the economy his party, the PDP, destroyed for more than a decade. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, says the efficient cut down of the contract sum by 30% of the total for the supply of cancer center equipment to the new cancer centers being built by the federal government through the NSIA has positioned Nigeria to build more health infrastructure with less resources. The coordinating minister noted this as he observed the signing of the equipment supply contract between Siemens Health and the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority in Abuja.
I have to go out of my way to appreciate you for the significant concession discount of 30%, which amounts to quite a significant amount of money, really, that we are clawing back to serve the public. We are in the business of making Nigerians healthier.
This will help thousands of patients. Cancer as a disease has become so personal. There's hardly any family which is not touched by it. And I think all of us together will do a great service by ensuring that, we provide the much needed care to the patients and families. And as you said, we are committed to deliver as per the promise,
And of course, Kano State government plans to upgrade health care facilities across all 44 local government areas in the state. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf announced this at the inauguration of upgraded Nuhu Bamali Maternity Hospital in Kano Metropolis. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
This facility, a lifeline for maternity and pediatric care, now boasts enhanced capabilities to meet the growing demands of the state's population. The development followed infrastructure upgrade and provision of additional equipment for enhanced maternal and child care. The project, Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf noted, is a testament to his administration's commitment to fulfilling campaign pledge to create a healthcare system that is accessible, reliable, and responsive to the needs of every family in the state. With the hospital's capacity and resources expanded, the facility is now equipped with new medical technologies and improved infrastructure aimed at delivering advanced care. Additionally, he disclosed government has introduced a free delivery kit for every woman attending childbirth in state hospitals. Commissioner of Health Abubakar Labaran Yusuf explained that at least 60,000 of these kits are being distributed monthly across Kano, ensuring that each new mother has access to essential supplies for a safe, dignified delivery. As envisioned by the governor, he noted the impact of the upgraded Nuhu Bamali Maternity Hospital through expanded space and advanced equipment will allow it to serve a greater number of clients, minimizing delays and enhancing care quality. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And Bayelsa State Governor Doyo Diri has described the flood situation in Beseni communities and local council area of the state as pathetic, as hundreds of families are now displaced. The governor, who visited the communities to assess the level of the flood and its impact on the people, also assures that the state government will secure higher ground to build shelters as part of efforts in ameliorating their sufferings. Teminepri Ohia reports.
Biseni clan in Bayelsa State is made up of 13 communities, and oftentimes communities there are always the first ports of call and flood, and one of the worst hits every year. This time around, as the flood beckons, the main access road has also been overtaken by the rising waters, leaving the creeks as the only source of access to the communities. Governor Doyediri, alongside his entourage, journeys through the Taylor Creek to have a first-hand information on the impact of the 2024 flood on the agrarian communities of Biseni clan.
We thank God that we have not heard about death of anybody from this community. And so when we assessed the flood in the state, so far Biseni is the most impacted across the state.
Some people's house, like Thatch House, failed due to this water disaster.
Those areas close to the river, most of those areas are also impacted. But we want to appreciate the government for, through the Agency for Flood and Erosion Control, a lot of canals were opened up. So this year in Agua, the state capital is not as impacted as it was in 2022. So we want to appreciate the government.
Highlight of the governor's visit to the flood-affected Biseni communities was the donation of 100 bags of rice and other relief materials to be distributed to the flood victims. Iyenogwa, Timinipri, Ohia, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority is once again showcasing its commitment to preserving and promoting Nigeria's rich customs through the 2024 edition of the Cultural and Traditional Festival organized by NTA Sokoto Network Center in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Governor of Sokoto State, Ahmed Aliyu, and Director General of the NTA, Abdulhamid Salihu Dembas, described the festival as a testament to the NTA management's commitment to innovation and preservation of heritage through community participation and engagement. Sadia Umar Digi reports.
The atmosphere at the NTA Sokoto Network Center is electric, with traditional dance performances, art and craft exhibitions, cultural processions, and display of mineral resources and agricultural produce from contingents of the 23 local government areas of Sokoto State. Governor Ahmed Ali commended NTA Sokoto Network Center for the initiative and for organizing the traditional festival in 2 consecutive years.
The NTA has been around for decades, and it has continued to play a significant role in development of this country and uniting the country.
Director General of NTA, Abdulhamid Salihu Dembos, underscored the importance of preserving and promoting the nation's cultural heritage, adding that NTA remains committed to delivering high-quality content reflecting values and aspirations of Nigerians.
NTA will always be there to support implementation of your 9-point SMART agenda for the progress of the state.
Chairman of the occasion, Senator Aliu Magatakal Dawamako, stated that the festival will assist in harnessing the national relics and identity.
We are here to celebrate our culture, an event that NTA management has voted wise. Preserving our culture is something that is very good.
Prizes are to be won at the end of the 2-day fiesta.
In Sokoto, Sadia Umadigi, NTA News.
The European American University Commonwealth of Dominican Republic, Panama, has conferred an honorary professorship on Aliu Idris, Special Advisor to the Chairman of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission on Technical Matters. The conferment of Professor of Financial Management on Idris Aliu coincides with the university's 21st convocation in Abuja, and also the award on him received of the Peace Ambassador from the Universal Peace Federation for his immense contributions to humanity. Olayinka Ojo reports that at the event, Professor Aliu Idris said effective fiscal management is the foundation for sustainable national development when carefully planned and implemented.
What are the fiscal frameworks in Nigeria?
Presenting a paper titled Fiscal Management and National Development, Dr. Aliu Idris urged government, the private sector, civil society groups and stakeholders to work together to strengthen fiscal discipline, efficiency and equity. Then came the moment for his honorary conferment as Professor of Financial Management by the university. Northern Nigeria representative, European American University, Commonwealth of Dominican Republic, Dr. Musari Audu Isiaka explained that the honor on Aliu Idris was approved by the university. He noted that the recognition would also serve as a platform for further contributions to the advancement of education and nation building.
This honorary doctorate degree and professorships serve as a testimony to their impact on humanitarian services.
I've worked with him on several occasions. He delivers. So I'm really happy and I feel he deserves this professorship and also even an ambassador of peace.
Have that vision and try as much as possible to actualize the vision.
For Professor Aliu Idris, a financial management expert with strong skills in revenue collection and recoveries, it is a dream come true. He emphasized the need for fiscal management strategies that respond to evolving economic, social, and environmental challenges.
Yes, we have a space to lend more funds as for debt finance in this country. But there's one issue. Why are we borrowing money for consumption? And if you are borrowing money for infrastructure, let it be the infrastructure that will bring cash flow into the system.
A reception was also held in his honor. Professor Aliu Idris hails from Dekina local government area of Kogi State. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
The air component of Operation Fasten Yama has commenced independent air interdiction missions to support the armed forces of Nigeria's renewed drive to eliminate notorious bandits in Zamfara, Kebbi State, and entire northwestern zone. A statement by Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olusola Akimboewa, reports that the first wave of strikes was launched following confirmed intelligence about increased terrorist activities in areas identified as strongholds of notorious bandit warlords who had long terrorized local communities. Battle damage assessments confirmed overwhelming impact of the strikes, leading to many kidnapped victims held captive by bandits to escape amidst the chaos. The statement reaffirms the armed forces of Nigeria's relentless dedication to restoring peace and security across the nation. Moving on, after months of intelligence gathering and painstaking surveillance, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have smashed two major cross-border drug trafficking syndicates with cocaine and opiates worth billions of naira recovered from them, while 6 leaders of the cartels were arrested in different parts of the country. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim has details.
It was the end of the road for leaders of the syndicate, known as Notorious for their cross-border activities. They were arrested at different locations across the country in possession of different types of psychoactive substances, including cocaine and tramadol, concealed in vehicle parts. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives in Apapa Seaport, Lagos, on Wednesday, 6 November, intercepted 31,750,000 pills of Voltron, a controlled opioid packaged and concealed in a container imported from India as diclofenac tablets. At the Murtala Mohammed International Airport import shed Ikeja, Lagos, NDLEA officers intercepted a 700 grams consignment of Loud. A software engineer who showed up to collect the package was promptly arrested, and a follow-up search of his home in Lekki led to the recovery of some drug paraphernalia, including cannabis crusher. In Abuja, NDLEA operatives in the Federal Capital Territory on Thursday, 7th November, intercepted a truck along Abaju-Kwali Road with 755.50 kilograms cannabis concealed under empty cartons of noodles. Discoveries and arrests were also made in Kaduna, Kano, Edo, Plateau, Kwara and Ondo State during the week under review. These include war against drug abuse advocacies across the country. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And now Bade is standing by for sports update. Bade, it's over to you.
Many thanks, Mina. Let's go. Let's begin with wrestling, as the Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, has lauded the Bayelsa State Governor, Senator Duyedere, for his significant contributions to the development of sports, particularly wrestling in Nigeria. Adeniyi, who is a board member of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation, made the commendation during a courtesy visit to the governor at the government house in Yenagoa on Saturday, on the sidelines of the 2024 National Wrestling Classics in the capital city.
His Excellency, the governor has for the development of sports more than what we have seen. We have seen this gesture not only in wrestling, but also in other major popular sports in Nigeria. So what we have come to do as part of the ongoing classics is to come and express our sincere gratitude to him. We are seeing results, but we also want to consolidate it.
All right, let's move away from wrestling now and straight to football, as Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Women's Champions League, Edo Queens, marked their debut with a convincing 3-0 victory over Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in their Group B opener on Sunday. ASEAN gave the Nigerian champions a 1-0 lead going into the halftime break before second-half strikes from Folashade Jamilusi and Goodness Osigwe handed them the 3 points. Back home, after going 10 games without defeat in the Nigeria Premier Football League, our Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri finally tasted defeat for the first time in the league this season, after they were hammered 3-0 away to Shooting Stars of Ibadan in their match-day 11 encounter. In other results, Kwara United ran out 1-0 winners away to Nasarawa United. Heartland beat Sunshine 1-0. Leaders Remo Stars settled for a 1-0 draw away to Enyimba, while the South-South derby between Rivers United and Bayelsa United ended 1-0 in favor of Bayelsa United. Meanwhile, Sunshine Stars head coach Kennedy Boboye has left his role as the coach of the team following his team's 1-0 defeat to Heartland, which was their 3rd straight loss and 4th of their last 5 matches. The Akure-based team are now sitting 14th on the MPFL table with 4 wins and 6 defeats in 11 games. Away from Nigeria now, Nigeria's Victor Osimhen capped a fine week and, he netted another brace to help Galatasaray secure a 2-0 home win over Samsunspor, a 3-2 home win over Samsunspor in the Turkish Super League on Sunday. Osimhen scored his first as early as the 3rd minute of the encounter before adding a second 10 minutes into the second half.
Agun à nouveau qui cette fois-ci va pouvoir rentrer, lancer dans la surface, le ballon qui est repoussé et Victor Osimhen et Victor Osimhen et
So interesting, he had to call him twice. All right, let's move away from Turkey now and move straight to England, as Pedro Neto's strike cancelled out Gabriel Martinelli's opener, as Arsenal were held to a tense 1-0 draw by Chelsea, leaving both sides 9 points behind Premier League leaders Liverpool. Ruud van Nistelrooy signed off his reign as interim manager of Manchester United with a 3-0 win over Leicester City at Old Trafford, while Newcastle inflicted only a 2nd Premier League defeat of the season on Nottingham Forest with a 3-1 comeback win at the City Ground, just as Ipswich Town recorded their 1st Premier League win of the season with a shock 2-1 win over sloppy and lackluster Tottenham. And of course, that's a bit when it comes to sports, but we're not done yet. I can see that Mina is, is looking so good in blue, and I wouldn't know. I know that Claire belongs to the, the red half of North London. So it ended 1-0.
Well, but I'm thrilled as a Chelsea fan that for the very fourth time, Chelsea remains unbeaten. I mean, that's something for me. I don't know about Claire.
It's interesting that both of us are just, fans of Chelsea and Arsenal. Anyway, we're just third and fourth on the Premier League table. Isn't that, nice, buddy?
Quite interesting, Claire, and of course, me now, maybe next time we'll get to see a Claire winner. For now, let's return
All
to
right,
the rest.
thank you so much, buddy. And just before I leave you with Claire, the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembers, says all members of the organization are deeply saddened by the news of the passing of Joy Osiagwo, cherished former colleague, respected reporter, and accomplished newscaster. A condolence message to the family of the deceased, the Director General notes that Joy embodied the spirit of journalism with her unwavering dedication, integrity, and passion. He says she brought to her role not only an exceptional talent for storytelling, but also a deep sense of responsibility to the truth, noting that throughout her career, Joy's professionalism and commitment set a high standard, inspiring both her colleagues and viewers alike with her voice, a trusted source of news, her presence, a steady guide during pivotal moments in the country's history. She remains etched in the foundation of NTA's mission. The DG says he extends heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, and all who had the honor to work alongside her, praying that her soul rests in peace. Her family finds comfort in knowing that the profound impact she had on the field of journalism and the lives of countless Nigerians. And that's the news segment. And I'll leave you in hands of Claire. But that will be after the break.
Welcome back to Newsline. Now, each time a woman stands up for herself, she unknowingly and without claiming it stands for all women. Now, Maya Angelou's timeless wisdom came to life at the 2024 Africa Women's Congress in Lusaka, Zambia, where Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, that's Nigeria's Minister for Women Affairs, delivered a very powerful message to advance gender equality. Now, our correspondent Lucia Yadiago was also there to bring us the details on Newsline.
The African Women Conference, Zambia 2024, has been quite engaging and exhilarating. Now it's time to recognize voices that have recently clamored for the cause of the African woman.
Tonight, we celebrate the achievement of those who have made significant strides in this.
For the co-convener AWC, Dr. Jume Amojo, and others, the continent is with policies already, but feel it's time to match words with action.
As we conclude this year's conference, let us carry forward the momentum we have built. Together, we can harness our potential, create an Africa where every woman is empowered and succeed.
The quest is to also transform Africa to the base of gender equality, and the roaring voices behind this, especially the Nigerian Television Authority, with its Director General, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembers, taking the Media Champion Award.
Every year, the NTA has been out here and he has supported us and the work of women empowerment all over the country.
The way the world is going today, we need everybody, leave no one behind. It means for concepts of this nature, projects of this nature, we all must put our best because for all our benefits. If the woman does well, it's for humanity.
I have to appreciate the organizers of this one. To think about the rural women, but we've been advised on the ways in which we can bring these products to the market through we that have the phones and internet.
I expect delegates to go back and become change agents, become igniters of more digital inclusion for women.
African Women Conference Next Generation takes the baton to organize the next edition. And it is an exciting moment for these champions who get inducted into the AWC Hall of Fame.
Well, I must congratulate our DG. Indeed, is gender-friendly DG. And in fact, today we collectively induct you into the He for She Hall of Fame. Congratulations, sir. So let's turn to other stories on Newsline tonight. And livestock farmers are beginning to witness a new dawn as the newly appointed Minister of Livestock Development, Ide Mukhtar Maiha, hit the ground running at a community engagement recently to chart a new course for modern animal husbandry. Now, the community engagement was just like a homecoming for the minister, as local communities gathered to rejoice with him. In fact, he was man of the moment because he lived most of his life in their midst. And Mohammed Umar Ajingi witnessed the interaction and reports that the minister was full of joy and gratitude to the organizers, who he says have been his long-standing partners in livestock farming.
These communities have every reason to roll out drums to give a man they consider one of their own a rousing welcome, to rejoice with him over his recent appointment as the Minister of Livestock Development. It was an engagement between the host communities and their august visitor in the month of November. The idea is to take a look at their common occupation of livestock farming with a view to opening a new chapter in modern animal husbandry.
So we believe that if we do the necessary that needs to be done in terms of the reforms as envisaged by the Mr. President, the GDP contribution from livestock sector will quadruple in the not too distant future. To do that, we have to invest and create the necessary conditions in the grazing reserves to attract and incentivize herders to remain there by providing all the necessary amenities that a modern animal husbandry requires.
The minister led the people into tour of various Fulani settlements for a study tour, where he demonstrated what he has been practicing for a very long time.
This appointment, I hear people say, is when you say round peg in a round hole, I think it fits it perfectly. And not even that, the passion he has for the livestock industry, that shows, it's exemplified with this farm that he has set. He's been resilient, he's been persistent. He's going to come up with new innovations which he has tested in his farm, and we've seen the results.
The minister's investment in the livestock sector for more than 30 years here has turned dreams into realities, with the children of the Fulanis who once left their villages to sell fried and nono in distant town now getting buyers at their very doorsteps.
This one behind me, called Bula, has the capacity to produce 50 liters in a day.
He has been interacting with the Fulanis for so many years, and he even made an NGO. He organized an NGO for the Fulanis around this area. All their milk, they milk their cow, they will bring it here and we will sell it outside, and we credit them with their money. We know he's going to deal with these farmers and herders problem. He will sort this thing out.
As the music continues to hit the air, the dancing cycles widen, calling everyone to join, including myself, a moment that speaks to my own Fulani heritage.
You know, sometimes we can't help the intrusion of our L1 into our English language. All right, let's move on now to see culture that is the heartbeat of our community. It lives in the people and in their traditions and also in their stories. And truly, this was very evident in Ekiti State, as the people with deep-rooted pride in tradition once again showcased beautifully during the annual Ekiti Day celebration. But this year's celebration wasn't just about the festival. It was also a chance to contribute and build for the future. And our correspondent in our next report, Lukemi Soni, shares those beautiful moments with us tonight on Newsline.
It was a gathering of sons and daughters of Inyekiti, as well as well-wishers from within and outside the state, who converged to celebrate and take stock of achievements in the past year, examine challenges and chart course for the development of the town. Oba Adeniyi Ajakaye emphasized the need for people to always give a pride of place to their history, culture, and tradition for the development of the country.
Once you are united, you'll be able to make progress. And the key is that the awareness is now coming for his sons and daughters and for our friends that we need to come and contribute to the development of our town.
The celebration was full of rich cultural display and paying of homage to the traditional institution by different groups that made up the town. Conferment of chieftaincy titles on some notable individuals devoid of tribalism but based on merit and their contributions to the development of humanity and further strengthening relationships took center stage. Some stakeholders described the celebration as a measure to attract physical development to the town.
Our dream for the next 1 year, with what had happened, they are all achievable, and we are going to achieve them.
It's for the development of the town, for the progress of the town. That's why citizens, sons, and that's why it's together.
Best wishes always. We have always been a strong supporter of Kabesi, a strong supporter of Inyekiti. Because as an indigene, what our fathers did, our great-grandfathers did, it's our duty to continue.
Is to unify all the cultures, to bring back home all the children of Inye Kingdom. You can see most of the people that we have not met for the past 1 year. We are meeting today.
Highlights of the event were the raising of 750 million naira appeal funds for various developmental projects of the town and presentation of merit awards to deserving individuals.
Splendid. And now that is what I say, a testament to the values that binds the people of Ekiti together, and it's encapsulated in the word Ekiti Parapo. Let's take a short break. Newsline will return presently. Welcome back. Now, the name Onyema Ugochukwu might not always stand out in the world of politics or even journalism, even though he's made his mark in both. However, it's a name that's closely linked to the NDDC. Tall, easygoing, and soft-spoken, Chief Onyema Ugochukwu's time as the first executive chairman of the NDDC is remembered as one of the most impactful eras in the Commission's history. Now, when he celebrated his 80th birthday in Abuja recently, it was a heartfelt occasion filled with friends, family, and statesmen who gathered to honor his decades of dedicated service, leadership, and community development. And our correspondent, Ekene Ndudue, was there to capture the celebration for us here on Newsline.
A Thanksgiving service held at Methodist Church of Nigeria, Cathedral of Unity, Abuja, set the tone for the day's festivities. In a service rich with prayers and songs of praise, the congregation gave thanks for Sir Ugochukwu's life, his contributions to the media, politics, and society. Sir Onyema Ugochukwu was a close political associate of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and the elder statesman has some kind words for the celebrant.
Whether people are abusing me or praising me, I know those. and go high from.
It did not end there. The family held a grand reception to honor the man of the moment. Sao Gochukwu is overwhelmed by the love and affection from friends and relatives. He says his greatest wish now at 80 is to see Nigeria take back its pride of place among Committee of Nations.
I wish our country would begin to get back to those parts where we cared for everybody. Everybody found a job. You came out of school, there was something to do.
That God should continue to grant him more and more grace to live a healthy life and to continue to be an encouragement to all of us around him.
Just wish him all the best, continued good health, to enjoy himself and continue to live life to the fullest, to the glory of God.
2 books detailing some of the engagements of Sao Gochukwu were unveiled as part of the 80th birthday celebration.
All along, I found him an extremely dedicated, honest Nigerian.
Chief Gochukwu epitomizes humility. He's focused. He's a righteous man, forthright.
Sao Gochukwu and his wife are also marking their 45th wedding anniversary, another opportunity to reflect on how far they have come. Sir Onyema Ugochukwu was a renowned journalist and worked as editor at Daily Times. He later served as senior special assistant to President Obasanjo on national orientation and public affairs, and later became the inaugural chairman of Niger Delta Development Commission.
So romantic, so romantic. Congratulations to Onyema Ugochukwu. Now, we're still talking about service, and that is what truly life is all about. Small acts of kindness and goodness that leave a very lasting impact. And for 35 years, Phil Obano dedicated herself to serving others, using both the pen and the microphone to make a difference. Now, she worked across 2 departments at NTA in various capacities. And of course, she rose through the ranks to become the zonal director of NTA Benin, a position she held with distinction. Aonli Ukolo was there, along with many NTA staff, family and friends, to celebrate Phil Obano and give thanks for her remarkable journey for the past 35 years.
It kicked off the Thanksgiving Mass at the St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Benin. The Mass had dignitaries, friends, colleagues, subordinates, her children, her family in her attendance. The homilist lauded her for her meritorious years of service.
All those who wrote about her, who mentioned her to me, said her elevations were merited.
Phil Agarese Obano, popularly called Auntie Phil, or Madam Phil, especially by staff of the NTA, dressed in her usual elegant style and signature headgear, danced to the altar surrounded by loved ones. The Archbishop of Benin Metropolitan See sent his blessings.
The Archbishop sends his greetings to you and your family members. Phil Obano is a dedicated Catholic that is proud of her faith.
Auntie Phil could not contain her joy and remains grateful to God for an unblemished 35 years of service.
I'm thankful to God. A journey of 35 years without recording any negative incidents. I think it's a feat that was only pulled by God. So that was why I decided that on this, my last day in office, I will come here and give all praises, all thanks, all adoration to God, who alone made this possible.
Her loved ones are especially proud of her.
She did not disappoint me. The training she is giving at home, she did not betray it. She is a good ambassador of the family.
A reception was put together on her behalf. Words of encouragement and blessings poured out in a most touching moment when her children extolled her virtues.
She's humble. Above all, she's somebody who can compose herself. CWU of St. Joseph, we have come to honor our very own. You have shown me what love is, what hard work is. God blesses you and lifts you to greater heights in Jesus' name.
Her retirement from NTA is a stepping stone into the new world we are in today.
When it's matter of NTA, she will get what she wants.
As she stepped out into the larger world, I encourage her to know that this is just the beginning of life for her.
She represents the best of humanity.
Presentations from several places of impact came next.
On behalf of NTA Benin Network Center, it's very token. I just manage it from the bottom of our hearts.
Madam Phil Obano is one most often described by colleagues and friends as detailed and committed to excellence.
And I've always known Phil for one thing. If she quarrels with you, she quarrels with you on the job. Yeah, she's a nice person.
She doesn't like a haphazard job. She doesn't like a situation whereby something you start and you don't complete it.
She's a professional to the core. She's just cute. She's just sweet. Everything about her, she's just there. I admire her calmness, her poise. I remember her for her precision.
I am looking forward to a very successful woman.
Phil Agarase Obano, after serving as the ZD for 10 months, is now the most recent retired Zonal Director NTA Benin Network Center and Deputy Director News of the NTA. She's a Smagogite, a University of Benin alumni where she bagged her BSc and Masters in English and Literature. Little wonder she will be remembered for her excellent tenses. 35 years in NTA has seen her bag many laurels. If her face wouldn't be remembered, her headgear definitely will be.
Oh, you took it away from me. Congratulations. Madam Phil, as we fondly call her, as I fondly call her, has a trademark scarf that has become a symbol of her legacy. And today I wear it in her honor, as you can see. And that's as she bids farewell to public service. Phil, I'm sure you can see your trademark. That's the legacy you're leaving behind. Congratulations. All right, let's move on to some other stories now. And of course, we'll be moving on to a story that we took here on Newsline some editions ago. And of course, we featured that story. It's the extraordinary story of baby Zuwaira that was born with a congenital condition where her head was attached to her abdomen along with 4 limbs. And since then, she's undergone her first surgery at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, UMTH. And tonight we revisit her story. And while her journey has been challenging, what happens next may surprise you. Pauline Guje Vanna brings us an update on this unusual birth. And of course, a glimpse into what lies ahead for little Zuwaira.
Na yi tsammanin ba za a iya arabata da wannan ciwo ba.
My joy knows no bounds. I am happy that my daughter is normal. At first, we were devastated, but the hospital's expertise and compassion gave us hope.
Na ji daɗi. An yi taimako sosai.
We didn't know if she would survive, and now she looks like any other child. I am full of gratitude to the medical team and Commissioner of Women Affairs. Our daughter is healthy now.
That was a feeling of fulfillment by the parent of little Zuwaira following a successful surgical operation to remove her 2 extra limbs. When baby Zuwaira came into the world 7 months ago, her parents were met with a mixture of joy and uncertainty as she was born with a rare congenital condition of 4 legs and a head attached to her abdomen, a sight that left many in shock and filled her parents with fear for her future. But there was hope through University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, UMTH, with a reputation for tackling some of these most complex cases in Nigeria. Dr. Samuel Obada and his team worked tirelessly, first by removing the head from the abdomen and now the extra limbs, which he confirmed the success of the surgeries, but emphasized that Zuera's journey is ongoing with regular checkups every 3 weeks, and she will undergo another surgery to address her pelvis, especially to ensure she can bear children when the time comes.
Remove the sutures, and now the patient is fit to go home. We discuss all the after effect of the surgery with the parents, so they will just be coming for follow-up. The patient still has bony diastasis, which in the meantime will allow the patient to heal, recover from the first surgery. Maybe in next 3 to 6 months, then we can discuss on how to do with the pelvic bones.
Chief Medical Director, UMTH, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, expressed pride in the hospital's achievements, saying it is the leading health institution in Nigeria for such specialized care.
I have to commend the team for doing such a good surgical work, and will continue. This center that you see behind us is the largest child institute in any public hospital in the country. It's 150-bedded pediatric institute.
We are even moving from a tertiary to a quaternary hospital. So we have 12 centers, and all these centers are highly specialized. So we're not surprised that we are handling a case of conjoined twin.
Named after Commissioner of Women Affairs and Social Development Borno State, Zuera Gambo, who provided both financial and material support that helped the family during these challenging months, the father said the decision was taken to create a lasting relationship between the family and the commissioner. Despite the medical victory, little Zuera is said to be discharged, but the family faces a difficult reality as their home was washed away by the recent floods, now considering staying separated temporarily with relatives pending a solution to their housing crisis.
Excellent. Bravo. NTA Maiduguri, thank you. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we have more stories on Newsline. All right, welcome back. Now, they say money may be the root of all evil, but it can also be the key to life-changing miracles. And with just 5.3 million naira, little Mubarak could have a chance to reclaim his future. It's a future that's currently threatened by ruthless cancer that is not only stealing his sight, but also endangering his life. And his mother is racing against time, desperately seeking the needed fund for the surgery that could save her son's life and allow him to chase his dreams once more. Here is Lekon Agbonde with this report.
Accompanied by a concerned individual, the mother of the 4-year-old cancer victim, Mrs. Bukola Yekini, and her son arrived the Ogbe premises of NTA Abeokuta to solicit the assistance of Nigerians to save her son's sight and life. Her deep sense of concern for her son's future is evident as the handsome and innocent 4-year-old boy is ravaged by retinal cancer that has eaten deep into one of his eyes and requires over 5 million naira to pay for surgery to salvage the situation.
They have to evacuate the eye before it gets to the other one, to affect the other one. Most especially as it's decay like that, it can get to the brain and it can. So you just need the people's help. Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, they went there and we saw the guy, nothing that they can do. They just have to evacuate the eye. How much will it cost us? We are looking up to 5.3 million naira now. And before they can do the surgery, 3 months. Now, you have to be taking some injection, like 150,000. And you can see the woman is helpless. That is the reason I say, okay, let's come to NTA.
Mubarak's mother cries out to well-meaning Nigerians to help her son as he has no financial capacity to do so.
The
reason why I brought him to NTA is to appeal to Nigerians to have mercy on me concerning my son's eyes that have been affected with cancer.
Well-meaning individuals and corporate organizations who are touched to assist Mubarak can send their support to FCMB account 1026 937586. Name Yekini Bukola Olanshile or call 080-2687-8381.
Very unfortunate. Now let's take you to Maiduguri. And for the first time visitors, Biu Emirate may seem like any other, nestled among rugged hills and vast landscapes. But beneath this challenging terrain, tradition runs deep, and the unwavering spirit of the people shines forth. Now, in every aspect of their lives, whether industrious or overcoming adversity, the resilience is very, very evident. And tonight, Tina Toro takes us on an adventure into this remarkable emirate, and she offers us first-hand experience at their vibrant sights and sounds.
Biu Emirate, with a population of about 1 million people, sits majestically atop a hill adorned by lush greenery and breathtaking panoramic view, reflecting the fertility of the land and the agricultural prowess of the people. It is a land rich in history with a heritage that spans 1,000 generations, its customs and traditions embedded in the heart and minds of the people. The people of Biu take pride in their uniqueness, showcased in their way of life without any compromise, as they are still obsessed with their traditional songs, folklores, food, and dances. Mustafa Umar Mustafa is the 29th Emir of Biu. Having taken over the mantle of leadership from his late father, he speaks on the structure of the Biu Traditional Council.
Farko tarihin Biu an kafa wannan daular namu 1915.
The Biu Emirate was established in 1915 and it has 3 kadafurs, 4 beteras, a chapola, zefada that make up the Emirate Council.
The traditional institution exudes royalty, yet rigid as it upholds virtues of peaceful coexistence, unity, tolerance, and firm belief in hard work, diligence, and dedication for the prosperity, growth, and development of the land and its people.
Every society has its own unique features. But the one of Biu is largely because we have agile working force at all material times. We have embraced both Quranic and Western education in good times.
Inculcating sound moral values in children is top priority, considering the alarming rate of moral decadence and indulgence in social vices with sound religious beliefs as the driving force.
Every household upholds its religious belief of either Islam or Christianity, and we live together peacefully.
The people of Biu, who are predominantly Babur, have an array of cuisines unique to this part of the world.
This is called tidir, and it is good for those with ailments such as ulcer, diabetes, and liver problems.
They are hospitable people and very receptive to visitors. No matter how far the people go away from home, the land still beckons, reminding them of who they are.
The fear is always there that this place I'm going to is Boko Haram. You understand? But when you come here, you discover that there's no such fear.
Biu is one among the fantastic towns within the Northeast Massif, not only in Borno.
The people whose major occupation is agriculture are into crop and animal production, with crops such as corn, sorghum, and beans in abundance, with thriving markets bursting with an abundance of their farm produce amidst other commodities. Aside agriculture, they also strive for academic excellence.
One of our traditions is that every rainy season, the traditional blacksmith produces farm implements such as hoes, cutlasses, sickles, preparatory to the farming season.
We have about 3 tertiary institutions. We have the Nigerian Army University Biu, we have the College of Education, and we have the Mustafa Umar Mustafa College of Nursing and Midwifery.
Biu Emirate is indeed a clear reflection of unity of purpose and intentional leadership, engaging sons and daughters both at home and in diaspora in developing the land, harnessing its potentials for the betterment of all.
All right, let's take a commercial break now. When we come back, we'll bring you the concluding part of Newsline. Now, the news of Joy Osiago's passing has left us all here in NTA in deep shock. A former NTA staff and member of our Canada correspondent, Joy was known for her grace and professionalism. Now, she left NTA to explore new horizons, but nothing could have prepared her family, friends, and colleagues here at NTA for her untimely death. Joy passed away just a few days ago following an unsuccessful medical procedure, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Who was Joy Osiago? Yemi Ajayi takes us through her remarkable journey and why she will always, always be fondly remembered.
A warm welcome to Network News. I am Joy Osiago.
Joy wasn't just a colleague. She was a friend, a source of light, and a cherished part of the NTA family. Her passing has left an ache that words can hardly express. From the very beginning of her career, after completing a national youth service, Joy made an indelible mark at NTA Channel 5. She became a voice of reliability and professionalism, delivering the news with a compelling presence that left viewers not only informed, but touched by her warmth. Joy wasn't just a brilliant reporter, she was an exceptional human being. For many years, she served as NTA's correspondent in Canada, representing the network with unmatched dedication and grace.
When I got to Canada, I took a short course in broadcast performing arts just to gain the Canadian experience. On a typical day, we had an hour of theory and spent the rest of the day on location, covering events, scripting, editing, post-producing, and presenting like we do at the Nigerian Television Authority.
Yet, despite the accolades and accomplishments, it was her quiet strength, her kindness, and her genuine smile that defined her. In her personal life, Joy embodied the essence of family. She was a pillar, a breadwinner who carried the weight of her family's hopes and dreams. As a wife and mother, she stood as an unshakable shield for her husband and children, offering love, support, and strength in ways that only she could. She met every challenge head-on, never backing down, always giving her best. Her sudden death, following complications from surgery in Abuja, leaves a void that no one can fill. She leaves behind a grieving husband, 3 children and an elderly mother, and a host of friends, all united in their deep sense of loss. Joy was a woman who made those around her feel seen, heard, and loved. She touched lives with her genuine spirit and unwavering resilience, and she will be fondly missed by all who had the privilege of knowing her. The NTA family mourns deeply, as do so many others who were touched by her kindness. Joy Osiago's legacy is not just in her work, but in the love she gave, the strength she displayed, and the light she brought to every room. She will live on in our hearts, and we will carry her memory with us always. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Amen.
I'm in shock and completely dumbfounded. Joy was also a Newsline reporter for many years. But this is a stark reminder to us all that life is truly like the wind, unpredictable and fleeting. It moves in directions we don't anticipate. And of course, in moments like this, we're reminded of how just fragile our existence is. On behalf of everyone here, we bid you good night.